Yeah. Hold on. Just a quick announcement. There are 22 sharers, so if
Okay.
possible, we please limit your eulogy for 3 to 4 minutes. Thank you so much.
I'll make it very, very brief.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Armel. Me and Sister Remy, or Ate Remy, we call it. I call her. We used to be co-workers and friends back then. I'm actually wearing the top that she gave me on my 40th birthday over 10 years ago.
Oh,
So I that's how precious our friendship is. I still have it. I get compliments with this top. But yeah, she holds a special place in my heart. So we've been co-workers, we're nurses by profession. We're co-workers and friends first before we became sisters in our spiritual family in MFC. And I've known her to be a very caring nurse. You can tell when you see a person how her heart is. And so we were actually helping each other back then when we were nurses. So we had good times, and I have fun memories of her. She has the biggest smile. I have never I don't remember I don't remember her complaining at all with any assignment. I guess if she did ever complain, she complained with still with a smile. So and Faith had always found its way for us to connect because of common friends, Sister Chita, Maria, Elizabeth, and also her own blood sisters, Sister Tess and Marisa here in MFC. So I guess our paths are meant were meant to cross, and she's the type of person, even if you haven't seen each other for a long time, once you see each other again, you just picked up where you left off. That's how she was. She always has that ready big smile. And I'm thankful of her friendship, of course. Even though the brief moments that we shared together, that was not enough for me. I wish we had spent longer time together, but again, God has better plans. But I'll always cherish the times that we've spent together, and I'm really, really praying for her soul that she will have eternal rest, and her also comfort for the whole family. This is something sudden and surprising for all of us. But she's the type of person also that I think she wants us to remember her as the fun loving and with the biggest smile and biggest heart. And so please pray for us, Sister Remy, and we love you so much. And please look on us. Amen. Thank you. God bless.
thank you so much, Sister Armel.
You're
Now,
welcome, sis.
may we call on Sister Lucy?
Okay, sis. Good evening, everyone. Our condolences to the bereaved families of Sister Ming. My husband and I have known Sister Ming when they joined the community, Couples for Christ, back then, now Missionary Families of Christ. They belong to our household. And I could remember the many times that we were all together. Every time we have scheduled, we always looking forward to be with them. We visited them in their Temecula beautiful home and the recent home right now in Menifee. And the meetings and the Christmas parties and all the different activities are always memorable and joyful. She's been a very good sister, and I'm sure everybody will miss her. Brother Gray and Andrew, Sister Tess, Sister Marisa, and all bereaved families. We're sorry, but sister had a good life. We will always treasure the moments we spent together. She will always be in our prayers. Thank you, Sister Ming. Thank you for the memories we shared together. You are always in our prayers and in our till we meet again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sister Lucy. Now, may we call on Sister Elvie?
Good morning. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. Uh, when I saw the message at the RMFC San Bernardino messenger, I thought it was her birthday. I almost put happy birthday, sis. And because I don't have my glasses. So I look at it again. I couldn't believe that it was Sister Ming. So I messaged Maring Lucy if it's really her. So, well, so I said, I just saw her. I just saw her. But I know when we first moved here in Moriera, I didn't really, I didn't really know her. But I think it's a birthday or some celebration at her house. She invited me, and she was so kind and very welcoming to us when we were first, moved here. And uh, her smile always touches me, because every time we see the family at the church with her sister and Sister Tess and sister, she will always hug us. She will always give us a very, very good smile, and she just makes our day all the time. And then for some reason I said, how come I don't see sister anymore? I didn't know that she was sick. So, but of course, her memories, her big smile, and her thoughtfulness and kindness will always be in our hearts. And of course, Sister Ming, you will always be a part of our life, and your memories will always be with us. And please pray for us, and we'll pray for you continuously. As may you rest in peace, Sister Ming, and we'll always remember you. We love you, Sister Ming, and the family. Our condolences. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Sister LB. Now we will call on the friend of Sister Ming, Marilu. It will be delivered by the is it Dayan?
Yes, Tita, I have it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So this is a eulogy from Tita Ming's best friends, a love letter to Ming and about Ming. This is a collective reminiscing from the four remaining 40 plus years BFFs, Baby, Marilu, Marlene, and Mimi, in alphabetical order by name, but all equal in our love for you, Remy. Dear Ming, we were all supposed to be, supposed to be hurrying the day when we all have our reunion in 2023. The last time all five of us were present in our group chat, but now sadly we will be talking about you. But don't worry, it's not chismes, but of our history together. There are many, many more memories, but alas, too little time to share it all. But first, for those of you who may not know, we met at work. We all used to work for Equitable Bank. Ming, Mimi, and Marlene were in the same branch. Baby was in another branch, while I, Marilu, was in the head office. I don't exactly remember now how we eventually hooked up and clicked together, but somehow we found out that we were all going to the same school, UST, University of Santo Tomas, and that we were all working students. It was tiring to engage the mind to adjust to study after coming home from work and commuting at that, riding sometimes more than one jeepney to get to school, so that once in a while, okay, more than often, we'd meet up in the canteen to chat and yosi or smoke. Full disclosure, all of us used to smoke, and then we stopped that bad habit from a long time ago. We sure had many tummy-busting laughters from the remember when memories when all five of us were in a group chat. A lot of ribbing jokes, a common theme when I asked all three what would be the most memorable time one remembers was when we all went to Batangas on a last-minute decision for a weekend. Sige, let's go. Just like that. Baby drove and had the private jeep, and all piled in and went off. And off we went. It was one of the most fun we all remember and still laugh about. I'd share our shenanigans, but that would be the girls' secret. But too many to talk. Needless to say, we had a lot of fun with each other's company. One distinct memory was Ming's story about Gary Valenciano, a famous singer who most of you might know. Gary had eyes for Ming at the age of 13. His dad was a bank client during those days, but he was a little too young for Ming back then. Fast forward 20 plus years later, now each with our own lives. Despite that, we cannot hang out and get away that easily. Still, technology gave us the ability to reconnect, and that's what we have been doing these past weeks and months. Over the course of 40 plus years of friendship, we found Rem to be tenacious, strong willed, kind hearted. As a single mom, she persevered through nursing school, raised her son Andrew, a fine young man, and along the way, we met Gray, the love of her life. These are her ups in her life, her men. There are many more memories, but alas, too little time to share all of them. Absence, they say, makes the heart grow fonder. We are not only very fond of you, Ming, we love you, and we will certainly miss you. Fly high, enjoy, and have a great time in heaven. We'll see you on the other side someday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dayan. That is coming from Marilu. And now I will be reading the eulogy coming from Mimi, another friend. She's with us right now, but she requested me to have this read. I met my dear friend Rem, Ming to most of you, in 1978. We shared the same school in college, the University of Santo Tomas, workplace, and a lot of common interest. We hung out in Cubao, Quezon City, where I met the quiet Papok, Vicky, and Donna. She invited me many times to go with her in Pangasinan, where I met Mama and Sonia, and the older brother was in another country, but I met Hope. We spent a lot of good times together. Back then, simple things made simple people like us enjoy life, because we both felt we had no one but each other, and we both wanted to do something better and make life of our own, though we had no freaking idea how to do it, because our mothers and siblings were breathing in our ears. I left the country in 1988. Rem said to me, "Why are you leaving me? Di ba sabi mo, walang iwanan?" Rem was like a sister to me. She became my parents' other daughter too. I had 8 sisters, but Rem gave me the sisterhood that was hard to get from a huge family. She wanted to find a way to come here in the US by all means, at all costs. This is something I admire her for, her determination. We parted ways for obvious reasons. She stayed with her family, me with distant family, and bonding became impossible because life here was a challenge. It is still the United Stress of America. We went up occasionally, not by choice. And that's when I met the rest of her family, some of whom I can still remember the names: Marisa, Jing, Gian, Natalia, Pocholo, Cecil, Tess, Noel, Alan, among others. Things changed even more when she had Andrew. When she told me, she said she didn't know how to build the courage to tell her family. She once again found determination for the sake of the one person that meant so much to her, Andrew. Andrew was the love of her life. She created a life of her own. Kudos to you, my friend. When she first bought her own home, she said, Mimi, everything you see in this house came from no one but me. I never once asked for help for anyone, not even a piece of spoon. She raised Andrew with pride and made so many sacrifices and gave Andrew her unconditional love. Rem is the most unselfish person I know. She is kind-hearted, never once got mad when things didn't go her way. She is firm, but I just wish she wasn't too hard on herself because she wanted nothing but the best. Her goal and her desire to give herself and Andrew the best life became a reality. But God was really with her in her journey to life. God blessed her to have a companion in life when Gray came along. He became her wall to lean on, a forever companion to complete her happiness. Thank you so much, Gray, for completing her and for giving her so much love she deserved. Rem, you are one in a million. You will be in my heart and in my thoughts forever. I love you, Remedios Posadas Kagampan Small. Sabi mo, walang iwanan. So this is not goodbye. It's see you later someday. You flew high here on earth. Now, rest in peace with our Creator. I love you, my true best friend. Signed, Mimi. Thank you so much, Mimi. Now, may we call on Chita?
Yes, sister.
Thank you.
Good evening to everybody. Our deepest condolences to the family and most especially to Graham and Andrew. I met Ate Remy or Sister Remy when we worked together at Rancho Spring Medical Center, MedSurg Delhi 2008. Then we became good friends. Then at that time, we formed a group, the 4 nurses, and we worked together. Ate Maria, Elizabeth, Ate Remy, and me. Our group become closer when we celebrate every special occasions like Christmas, Valentine's, and our special birthdays. I remember one time during Valentine's Day, we celebrate it with a dinner cruise in San Diego. We really have a good time that time, dancing and drinking. And our driver is Graham. So we used her, was that the hammer. So I teased her. This is my first time to ride a hammer. So, and we're really having good time having together in that car. We have a lots of memories together, the 4 of us. But my favorite qualities about Ate Remy or Sister Remy are that she is friendly, loving, and down-to-earth person. I will never forget her great smile, mabungis-ngis. Ate Remy is the reason why I have been working in postpartum or LND for 15 years till now. She encouraged me to apply or transfer when I was doubting my own career or skills. Thank you very much, Ate Remy, for pushing me to transfer. Now I found my own career. It's hard to say goodbye to a dear friend like Ate Remy. I will surely miss you. Please pray for us always. I know someday we'll meet again. I love you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Chita. Now may we call on Maria Tablan.
I think she went to put the baby to sleep now.
Okay. Sige. Okay. May we call on Sister Susan? San.
Yeah. I'm the cousin of Ming, and I'm devastated after I learned of Ming's sudden death. It's difficult to process the grief, but I'm getting through. Ming touched each and every one of us and has left us with memories we will cherish. She showed us that life should be fun. She enjoyed things in life as long as she had other people to share them with. One time we were at her place and I saw 3 piles of clothes lying on the floor. She basically emptied her closets and told us that she's donating those clothes and some will be sent to Philippines and we are free to grab what we like. I grabbed a bag full of clothes. And one of them, I'm wearing it right now, my favorite one. Oh, okay, what happened? Um, Ming loved to travel and share it with us. We traveled to Arizona, Vegas, Big Bear Shuttle with Gray driving us with their Hummy. Thank you, Gray. Wherever they want to travel, they inform us and we'll make sure I always join them because it's so much fun to be with them. They also share their house to us. His sisters, Ming, Marisa, and Peter, including me, we spend our weekends at their house and we played many things. We go shopping because I enjoyed also a lot with them. When my daughter visited me and her family, they invited my daughter for a picnic at the shelter island. On our way back to my apartment, I heard my 6-year-old grandson said to his mom, he said, the most fun place that we've been to. I enjoyed a lot, he said. And I was thinking, they went to Disneyland, Legoland, but I never heard him say that. So when my son also and family visited me, Ming invited us at their place for an overnight bonding. My son Mark, his wife, Anna, and his 2 teenage daughters were so grateful and had also fun. My last 3 days in San Diego, I'm here now in Australia, as you know, my apartment was sold and I had to vacate the place. I had some more stuff for me to do. Ming and Gray offered me to stay at their place. And the most touching part was Ming and Gray handed to me the key to their old home. It's a simple gesture, but to me, it gave true meaning
to the saying, "Mi casa, so casa." It's like saying, you are free to come and go anytime. No hustle, no pressure, and no worries, but have fun with us, Susan. So I lost a friend, a cousin, but in my heart, I lost another sister of mine. Me and Chona have eternal fun with our Lord, our Blessed Mother, the angels, and the saints, and our deceased blood relatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Susan. Marie, are you ready? Oh, not yet. Okay. May we call on Sister Lida?
Yes, my name is Laida Mata, and you can see pictured Noel and Charlie Gayoso, my beloved brothers who died 1 year apart. I am the sister-in-law of Tess Gayoso. I met Ming around the mid-80s. She must have just arrived from the Philippines then and was looking for a job. At the time, the nonprofit agency I worked for in Oakland had an opening for a bookkeeper. As the accountant is going to do the interview, I offered her the job, and she accepted and passed the interview with flying colors. Ming was a perfect employee.
Angel.
She was never late, was a quick study, had a pleasant personality, and had a beautiful handwriting. At the time, we were transitioning from manual to electronic, and I had Ming do the entries twice. Once electronically, as we were both learning the system, and a second time manually as a parallel to make sure we were doing things right. Ming never complained about the tediousness of the work. In her own quiet way, she just kept chugging along. She was truly a pleasure to work with. Regrettably, Ming stayed with us for only about 2 years. Some people with bright feathers you just can't keep. They need to soar to greater heights. She also wanted to be with family who moved to the San Diego area. That was a sad day for the agency. From those humble beginnings that I remember, and the many struggles along the way, Ming has definitely soared far and wide. She has done magnificently well for herself. I salute you, Ming. I tip my hat to you for the impeccable way you raised Andrew and for a life well lived. Say one for me, Ming, and give my love to Nonoy, Charlie, and Ricky. When you see them, rest in peace, Ming. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Lida. Now, may we call on Ate Lorna?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
For those who do not know me and how I am related to Ming, I am Lorna Posadas Wood, one of the over 40 first cousins of the Hughes Posadas family. My dad and Ming's mom are two of the seven siblings. Both of them had 8 children each, plus the ones from the other 5. The first, we used to live in a big compound, and Ming's mom used to live in the suburbs of the town, like about a mile from our place. So every Saturday, her mom will go to the market and will leave all the kids in our compound to play with the whole family, with the other kids or the other cousins. And every Sunday, they will come back, go to the church, and then stay with us, hang around with their family the whole day. Oftentimes, I would go with them for a sleepover on Saturday night and then come back on Sunday with them. This is how close I was to their family, especially to Cecil, their oldest sister. Unfortunately, Cecil passed away here about 5 years ago. Cecil was the oldest of the cousins, and I'm next in rank of the cousins. And the cousins funded by groups according to age. Ming belonged to the lower rank and file. She was still a toddler while we were teenagers. In college, Cecil and I were together in a boarding house until her other siblings gradually entered college and they rented an apartment with some cousins. In the meantime, the bigger cousins continued to bond together. We went on excursions, swimming in the beach, jump sessions, and so forth. Then after college, we went our separate ways, getting married, working abroad, working locally. All this time, my memory of Ming was a blur. I never really knew Ming growing up because there was a big 13 years gap between us. The next time I reconnected with the family was here in the US in the 1990s. And that's the first time I saw Ming here as an adult. That was the time when Auntie Meding was dying in San Francisco. Marisa called me and asked me to help them decide when to remove her from the respirator, as she was dying of chronic kidney failure. I was still then practicing as an anesthesiologist here, so I helped with them with the difficult decision. Ming was there, but there was really no closeness to me like the way I did to her older sisters. The first time I started to really know her was when she moved to San Diego and married Graham. That time, the Posadas cousins started to have family bonding again, and we would alternately host several parties in between LA and San Diego. She and Graham graciously hosted several parties in their beautiful home. While we cousins were like boisterously laughing, talking, shouting, doing our marites bonding, Ming will just sit there with her beautiful smile and listening demurely. It's not because she was a snob, but it was her personality, a very quiet person. The last party we had at their house was last September on her 63rd birthday. As usual, she had abundant food. She proudly introduced us to her future daughter-in-law and told us about their wedding plans. She happily but humbly toured us around their new home and showed her collections of beautiful and expensive plants. We knew they were expensive, but she would not tell the price when asked by one of the marites. That's how humble she is. She was so thrilled with the cactus arrangement I gave her as a present. We are both plantitas, so we talk the same language. The same way, when she won the plant arrangement I made during Noel's death anniversary. That time, we arranged to do a plant exchange, and she got mine. The smile on her face was so genuine, and she happily showed it to Graham. I'll never forget that moment because it was the last time I saw her. I regret that I didn't have too many memories with her like I did with her sisters. But rest assured, Ming, that the several moments I shared with you will be treasured forever. We love you and will miss you. Rest in peace, Ming, and say hi to Tupidring, Chamiding, and Cecil. Lastly, to Graham and Andrew, don't forget that you are a link in a huge circle of families, and we are always here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ate Lorna. Now, when may we call on Camille? Camille, are you ready? Maybe call on Pocholo.
Did I go? Not ready, but I'll have something prepared pretty soon.
Okay. Okay. It's Diane's time. Diane?
So my name is Diane, but my family calls me Donna. My mom and Tita Ming are sisters. I keep hearing a lot about how generous is Tita Ming is and Uncle Graham with their home. And I just wanted to share too that I lived with Tita Ming in various stages of my life. We lived together when I was a child in the Philippines. I think up until I was about 7 or 8 years old. We lived together in Manila. The next time I lived with her, I actually moved with her to Oakland when I was in 7th grade. I stayed with her and my Lola Miding, and when Andrew was still a baby. So I lived with her for about a year then. And then also when I was in college, I was living with Tita Marissa, but I actually spent a lot of time as well in Eastlake, where she was staying with Tita Tessie. So at that time too, I spent a lot of time with her. And then finally, in 2018, when my husband was retired from the military and we were still transitioning to Las Vegas, Tita Ming and Uncle Graham let us live with them in their home in Menifee, and my husband and 2 kids. So I was actually really happy that my kids were able to experience the joy of living with Tita Ming, because that's a memory for them that they'll have forever. And I was just thankful that she was able to see just the progression from growing up and then becoming an adult with my own family. She had really made an impact on me, and my kids were very devastated when they heard about Tita Ming, but just know that we'll always remember her. And I wish we were able to spend more time with her just like everybody, but God has his plans. And when I look through pictures and text messages from her, I still remember her voice. I hear her calling my name, and there's just so much more memories that I want to share, but I know each and every one of us that are here on this call tonight has our own special memories of her. And that's what really I guess really matters is because she's such a good person, and I just, want Andrew and Uncle Graham to know that we're here for you, and know that, we will never forget her. And I like what everyone says, I wish we had more time with her, but she's where she needs to be, and we'll definitely keep her in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dayan. Now, may we call on Natalia?
Sorry, I'm not quite ready yet. I'll go after Paula.
Okay. So, Gian.
Hi everybody. My name is Gian. I'm Marissa's and Jane's oldest daughter, and Tita Ming is my aunt. Moments like this, you really aren't prepared for. Moments like this, you aren't really prepared for. Sorry. Moments like this, you aren't really prepared, and you always think that you have more time with people you love, but actually, it's always the one regret we have in our lives. I left San Diego in summer of 2020 around August, right around the start of the pandemic, and moved my family to Northern California. Kaylin was going to be a freshman at San Francisco State, and I got a job working for the state of California. That October, Tita Ming, Grandma, my mom, my dad came out to visit me, and they went on to a vacation to Lake Tahoe. She was able to see my new home up here, and I even took them and showed them where I worked. We took pictures in front of my building with the statue of the California black bear. I remember she said to me quietly while we were walking back to the car, and she was holding my arm, "Gee, I'm proud of you." And I looked at her and I smiled and I said, "Thank you, Auntie." She was always that quiet encourager, that one person that was always on your corner rooting for all the best and blessings in your life. I wasn't able to come home until last May of 2020, so it was a good 2 years. During my last visit in May was the last time that I saw Tita Ming. Tita Ming was always a constant in our lives. She was that one person that always showed up. We were there for about a week, and half the time she stayed over at my mom's, so we were able to spend some time with her. I always think back on how blessed I was for that time. The Saturday she passed, we get a text that something horrible happened to Tita Ming. She was in an emergency. She'll be in the ICU. It was so shocking to us, let alone find out that they were in Redding. That wasn't even part of their trip. I remember Googling it right away where Redding was located, and found out it was only 2.5 hours away. Then we get another text that she passed. This happened within a couple of hours. It happened so fast. It was so unexpected. It was so confusing and so chaotic. At the same time, all we did was act, and we drove up to meet the family. After the initial shock, it wasn't until the next couple of days did it all sink in, and I just sat in sadness. Adonis, Kayla, and I were talking about the events that Saturday, and I said to them, I can clearly hear Tita Ming's voice ringing in my ear so clearly. I said to them, I bet you when God said to her, okay, it's time to go, in Tita Ming style, with one hand on her hip, I could hear her say, are you sure? We all just laughed and cried. Thinking of what to say tonight was really a daunting task. Not because I don't have any memories to share or because I have nothing to say about her. I have so many things to share with everybody about her that 3 to 5 minutes isn't enough time to fill. It's so hard to put into words how I feel about my aunt's passing. Of course, the natural emotions of loss and nostalgia are all over me, but there's a sense of frustration as I try to bring her mind, her facial expressions, her voice, and most of all, her personality. It's hard to make things final. It's so hard to make peace with the thought of laying her to rest and making it a reality that she's gone. that we won't ever see her when we go back home to San Diego. That's it, Pansit, she would say. Tito Ming had a quiet demeanor, but her truest self, she was a go-getter, a hard worker, persistent, tenacious, and she was so brave. I have a daughter myself, and I can't imagine raising my daughter all by myself, let alone put herself through LVN school and then get a second degree and become a registered nurse. She did all that by herself. Later, she achieved home ownership and bought her own home on her own. She was a role model to me, someone I looked up to. When all odds are against your favor, I learned from her, never give up, be brave. You never know the blessings of God if you give up. Her world revolved around Andrew. He was the love of her life. She was a single mother for a long time, and she always wanted to stay present for Andrew and be the mom and the dad for him. For as long as I remember, she worked night shift or overnight shifts so that she can be present for him while providing for her little family of 2. I remember while she was going to school and or working, when Andrew was little, she would drop Andrew off at our Stillwell house and we would babysit him. He was like our 5th sibling. All of us would take care of him. I remember he was always without his baon of M&Ms, ramen, and Lola Meding sweater that he rubbed on his nose to put himself to sleep or for comfort. He was so well behaved and so easy to take care of. That's a testament of how Tito Ming raised him. It's just so sad that he will not be there for Andrew's wedding this September. She won't be there to witness the fruits of her labor of love for him. She won't be there for the important moments of our lives. In the months and years that lie ahead, when we talk about how things used to be, some will say this, some will say that, but on these days we'll have to agree my aunt was godly, wise, and fun, the best sister, homemaker, and friend, and in the hearts of all her nieces and nephews. What a blessing and privilege it was to have her part of our family. She left a remarkable legacy here on earth. No, you will never be forgotten and always loved by all of us in your family. If only we could have had you longer. Your time was short while you were with us. Rest in peace, Tito Ming. We love you.
Thank you so much, Jian. Now, may we call on Caitlin?
Hi, everyone. I'm Marissa and Jing's oldest granddaughter, Kaylin, or Kikai to some of you. These past few days have been hard for me. It has been hard to come to terms that someone who watched you grow up is no longer here anymore. Sometimes I forget she's gone, and other times it's hard to believe that she's gone. Tita Mina has been a big part of my life from when I was born to today, and she will continue to be in the future. She was my second grandma in many ways other than just Tita Ming. I look at pictures on my phone and see her in so many because she was just that much of an integral person in my life. She always made sure I had snacks when I went to her house, stocked up on candy, sweets, junk food, and soda for me to be snacking on always. I remember mornings during breakfast after my grandparents and I stayed at her house. She would always make sure I had enough fruits on my plate and food, and would always make me hot chocolate while the adults had coffee. I remember when I was 11 and got a short haircut that I didn't like, and some of the aunties got one too to make me feel better. She would always reassure me that I was still pretty and she liked my hair. I can go on and on about the big and the small endless memories I have of her and her kindness and grace. I was always with my grandparents and Tita Ming and Uncle Gray on their trips to Vegas, Chinatown, New Orleans, or anywhere, sat in the back of their Hummer or car, just happy to be there with them growing up. Tita Ming helped take care of me and made sure I was always happy and comfortable and cared for. She hosted Christmases and other special occasions with open arms, bringing the family together. She hosted my small 18th birthday at her house at the start of the pandemic before my parents and I moved, and she danced with me in the small 18 Roses dance my grandma organized for me. She is such a generous person, and anyone who knew her knows how giving of a person she was. This past May was the last time I saw her. I was so excited to tell her about my first big girl endeavor as an adult. She was so happy and proud of me. I told her that she was one of my personal inspirations I had in my head for the auntie role when I was reading the script and working on the film set. She was very excited for me and to see my work I had done. I kept telling her that I'd tell her when it comes out and we'd all watch it in a family watch party. I said, I love you and I'll see you when I come back to San Diego. She won't get to be there when it comes out, but I know she'll be watching and be proud of me from above. I remember when I heard the news of Tita Ming's passing, I froze. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't and can't fathom it. It wasn't until I told my parents when my mom was in the shower that it all sunk in and I broke down. Tita Ming was always gives me a big hug whenever I see her, regardless of if I saw her the day before or not. I can still hear her voice, whether it be calling out to Kuya Andrew from his room or saying hi, Keeks, to me. I can still hear her. Thank you, Tita Ming, for all the love and compassion you have shown me and everyone you have come across. Thank you for always comforting and being there for others. Thank you for being an inspiration and a strong woman and figure I have. Thank you for all of the things you have done, and I will always miss and love you. You can rest now and be at peace. I love you so much.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now may we call on Charles?
Hi, my name is Charles. The youngest sibling. I'm the youngest of Marissa's kids. I didn't really have anything prepared. I just want to just say that Tita Ming was one of the most generous and most peaceful and kind woman I've ever met. I've never seen her get angry. She's always happy. She's always at all the family events, and you can always go to her to talk to her and about life. And she's always there to listen. She was just a strong woman. All that I know, that she raised Andrew by herself and took care of him and made him to this amazing guy that he is now. She loved Graham very much. I was there since the beginning when my mom introduced them together, and I saw, how much they cared about each other and loved each other, and they were inseparable. They always were taking trips together. They were always together. I never saw them apart. And just, I truly do miss her, and I love her always. I always thought of her as one of my second mom. She's always there to, help in any way possible. I just really miss her. And may she rest in peace, and that hopefully we all see each other again. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. May we call on Lawrence?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Lawrence, and I'm one of Tita Ming's nephew. My mom, Tess, is her sister. So I've known Tita Ming for a majority of my lifetime. And I have to say, and I hope my other aunts don't get mad at me, but Tita Ming is one of my favorite aunts in the family. Out of all my aunts and uncles, and I love them all, Tita Ming is the one that I have spent the most time with. When she was much younger, her and her son, Andrew, who was then just a baby, moved in with us in our family home in Eastlake, Chula Vista, California. Even at the expense of me having to give up my own bedroom and sharing it with my brothers, I was okay with that. She was finding her role in life, and we were glad to help her find her way. Being a single mother is always tough, but she loved her son and devoted her life into raising him the best she could. She entered one of the most common careers for a Filipino woman, which was nursing. And I can say she did pretty well in this field because it gave her a financial foundation for the rest of her life. I was so happy to grow up with her and see her bloom. When she married Graham, I was happy to see her complete her life. She had a good career, a son that was growing up, a husband that loved and devoted himself to her, and soon after they were able to get their house together in Temecula. She returned the favor to our family by allowing us to live with her for a few months while we also were waiting to move into our Temecula home. We were practically neighbors, just a few blocks apart. So we stayed close even though she moved on with her life and new husband. During my photography days, she also, with no questions asked, always let me use her house to photograph my models in. And when she wasn't home, she would still make sure I can use her house for whatever I needed it for, because that is what family is for. And Tita Ming always helped me and supported me whenever she could. I am proud of Tita Ming to see her live a full life. She raised a very good son who is now on his way to accomplish great things in life. I enjoyed all the family reunions we had at her house in Temecula and eventually in Menifee. They were always filled with tons of food and drinks and provided a happy setting for our family and all the visitors that came. I also enjoyed being part of the last week of her life during our family vacation in Oregon. We enjoyed many laughs together and created countless memories. When I found out what happened, I was shocked. I am still shocked and sad that we didn't get a chance to properly say goodbye. Nevertheless, I want you to know, Tita Ming, that I love you and I thank you for being such a good aunt to me. I will truly miss you, and hopefully one day we will see each other. May you rest in peace.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. Is Natalia ready?
Hi, I'm Natalia Dunn. I'm Marissa Mangubat's second daughter and Tita Ming's niece. I wasn't prepared, but I just wanted to kind of just share a couple of memories I had with Tita Ming. Tita Ming was the youngest of the sisters, and so she was really always the younger and cooler aunt. She was always stylish, always calm, always cool, and always so much fun. And one of my favorite memories of her is actually, sorry, Graham, is she actually, I went to her bachelor party in Vegas, and it was my very first bachelorette party, I'm sorry, with her and my aunts, and it was so much fun, and it was just full of laughter, and that was just how all of my memories with Tita Ming were. It was always full of laughter. It was always so much fun, and she was always up for a good time. She wanted to karaoke. She wanted to do TikTok dances, like anything to just have a good time. And she was just always part of that, and she was always laughing, and we were just always having a good time. And I think that that's something we're gonna so miss in all of our family gatherings, because she was such a source of laughter and fun. And it's still very much of a shock that she's not here, because she was so part of our life, and just such a big part of our family. Also, I really looked up to her as being a mother to her son, Andrew. She really took care of Andrew. She loved Andrew with so much of herself, and I look up to her for that, and I model myself after that, because I know that if you give your son that much love, they turn out to be such good people, and that's a testament of how Andrew is, that he had so much love from Tita Ming. And so, I'm just so happy to have had that role model in my life. So you know, she will be so missed, and she was so loved. And Andrew and Graham were here, and you just know that she won't be forgotten, and she loved you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. Pocholo, are you ready?
Hi, my name is Pocholo, also sister of Ty that just spoke. I am nephew of Tita Ming. My mom is Marissa. What I wanted to say with Tita Ming, you know, I was actually at the beginning of these rosaries, I was like reading Remedios, and I was like, am I on the wrong rosary here? I didn't even know for a while, like, oh, Remedios was her real name. I've always known her as Tita Ming. Tita Ming was like the youngest sister of her family, her siblings there. So I always saw her as like even though she was part of my mom's generation, I thought of her as young enough that I could easily relate to her. Things I remember experiencing from her when I was growing up. She would smoke cigarettes. She was living on her own in San Francisco, and she was raising a kid by herself. You know, I was like, whoa, this is something that I was not, I was always kind of surprised to hear and to see. And what I really admire of that, what I kind of reflect on it, was that she was kind of a rebel, you know, on her own time. She was really just doing things where what made her happy. You know, I really admire her for, like, even though like my people might think that this is some issues or what so forth, she really said, I'm doing this because this is what's making me happy. I'm gonna raise this Andrew, her son, on my own. And that's because that's what is gonna make me happy. She's gonna do things a lot just to, you know, she didn't care what, you know, even what her sisters thought, but she was really doing things that just wanted to experience it and be happy about it. So I really admire her for that. And that's something I will always take away growing up, knowing that. Tita Ming as a mother to Andrew, I remember I used to be so jealous of Andrew growing up. He would always get to eat M&Ms for every dinner. I was like, how come my mom doesn't feed me M&Ms? You know, I've always had to eat all my gulai and rice. And I was like, she would always spoil Andrew so much. He would never yell at him, never get spanked. I was just like, oh man, she's so like caring for Andrew. And what I want to kind of take away from that was, like, I started to realize how much as we started getting older, that Tita Ming was always the one who was really babying all of us. She was one of the few people that had a big enough house to host our big events. And she would be the first person to offer her car for any road trips. She was always the first person to let's eat, let me feed you guys. She was always the first to provide a week's worth of baon for everybody, you know, and her parties. And so this event with Tita Ming is very shocking. I think it's still hasn't fully settled in for me and my family. It's just, we've known Tita Ming all our lives, and every big event, Tita Ming was there. Even though she is typically one of the quieter sisters, she was the most giving, the most open, and the most generous of them. And I reiterate what some of the other people have said. I really look up at her as a role model and cherish her, that she was one of the best aunts I've had. So I will miss you, Tita Ming. My condolences to Andrew and Graham as well. May she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Chola. Is Camille ready? Camille. Okay. How about Alan? You're muted, Alan.
Hello, my name is Alan, and I'm one of Tita Ming's nephew. I am also the son of Letitia, Tess, and my dad Noel. They also. Um, when I first met Tita Ming, um, we were still young. I think I was in elementary school in San Jose, and I think she was coming from Philippines, and she had stayed with us at a house in San Jose. Um, there, my mom worked at a convalescent home as a live-in, so we had a little room or a side of a house that was left for us to live in as my mom took care of the whole convalescent home or facility, in-house facility. And so she stayed with us there for just a brief time. And then I remembered meeting her for the first time. She to me, I didn't think she was really my aunt because she was kind of young, but I was so much younger. But she had that presence to me where, it's cool to share what you feel to her. You don't have to really hide anything to her because her personality is open and it's always greeting. So and then I think I remember moving her to Oakland, and that's where she got a job. And I remember moving her into an apartment upstairs, and it was like a bachelor's apartment. It was right there in front of the street, and Safeway was right in front of it, and you could hear people honking. And it was like, yeah, this was in Oakland, and she lived that bachelor life. I think she also later then stayed with Lola Bering later, but that was, and then we moved to San Diego. But that was the time um, where I last seen her when we were at the north of California, when we were staying at North Cal. And then, so the last I seen her was Oakland, and then we started our venture into San Diego in our East Lake house over there. And then a couple grades after, I was already in middle school. I heard that Tita Ming was coming down to San Diego, and I was like, "Oh, really?" Oh, and I didn't. And what was a shock to me was this time she's not alone. She's coming with her son Andrew, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, this is interesting," because I didn't know what had happened, and she and the next thing I knew, she had the son coming down, and my mama asked me to see if she can stay in my room, or I thought it was my room. And then so we let her stay in the house, and after that, I graduated and I went off to the Navy, and then again I didn't see her for a while. But when she had settled into San Diego to our house, Um, she was there to stay. She wasn't visiting or anything. She was there to stay because she got busy with school. She got busy with a lot of school, actually. I think I remember her sometimes coming home like at night or some weird hours in the morning or some weird hours at night. Either she was doing internship, but she really worked hard for what she was trying to accomplish. She was gun ho for that. I think it's because also um, she was at our house, and um, and she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to fail because she has Andrew, and it was one of the biggest sacrifice I've made in my life where I had to give up my room also, and and things had changed in my life. But her, the way she managed herself and took the bull by the horns and ran with that room. She that room was meant for her. You know what I'm saying? She accomplished so much in that room. She raised Andrew in that room, and she got her degree. And then she started working. And then so when I came back from the Navy, 4 years after coming home from Japan, she was still living at our house in Eastlake. And at that point, she was already working. And I remember at that time too, I think she still had her red Tercel that she had from way back in
Oakland.
Oakland, San Jose. She still had it. She had that Tercel, and she was still running that Tercel after all these years, and after and I don't know how it made it from Oakland to San Jose to San Diego, but I think it was driven to San Diego. But I forget who drove it. It's probably me because I was always driving. So I came back after my time in the military, and she was still in the house. And what she had accomplished was she had saved enough money to transit into a new home. So in 4 years, she was able to raise Andrew by herself, got her degree, and I thought she only made it to LVM, but someone testified that she had made it to an RN. So that's a bigger accomplishment than what I was aware of. And then she saved enough money to buy her own house. And so she asked me if I wanted to stay up to Temecula rent free. And I took the offer. That was like I took it as if a repayment, because I was out of a room for a long time, and for her to accomplish everything, and for her to offer that to me at the end, that just tells you a lot about the person she is. Now she's not only a go-getter, but she also has a kind heart to repay, what what she feels, or what, I don't know what she felt, but I, I really appreciated the fact that she had asked me to stay with her in her new house in Temecula. From there, um, I got a job in Temecula. I was living with Tita Ming for I think almost 2 years, or a year, 2 years alone with Tita Ming up in Temecula. She would work and take Andrew to school. Andrew his school was just right across the street, so he would walk across the street, and I would go to my school, and we'd do our own thing, and she would work, and then at the same time, I we found a house across her street, across her new house in Temecula, and then the whole family ended up moving to her house in Temecula as we waited for our new house to get built in Temecula. Um, then when we moved out of her house as a family, the Gayosos moved out of this Tita Ming's house. She met Uncle Graham, and at that time, I went around with Lawrence with his ventures with the photo shoots, and with 935 draggers, going around different states and covering the shows and whatnot. And I remember one show that we were doing in San Diego. Uncle Graham and Tita Ming showed up in one of our car shows, and there was already rumors that Tita Ming and Uncle Graham was seeing each other, and we would have our little giggles with it, and finally, um, they both showed up at the show, and that was the first time I've seen them together as a couple, and that picture stuck in my head because one, I never seen her so happy, and two, I never seen her with a boyfriend. And we would always tease her about it. Oh, Tita Ming, you have a boyfriend. And because she's the youngest out of her sisters, and so we had with our oldest, I think nephews and nieces, I think we all have a bond with her that she's like one of our cousins, because she's got that young heart that I remember about her so much. And I was so happy when I seen her at the car show with Uncle Graham, because I think I remember Uncle Graham actually holding her, and she would have that feeling, that kilig feeling. In Tagalog, it's called kilig, but in America, it's called like that jittery feeling, like like you know. And she was in love. That just tells you that she was in love, and that was one of the happiest moments too, that an accomplishment that I've seen her grow in her life. I also had a good time with the family on the last week that she was away. She was still with us. She had a great time. She had you know, it was a good feeling to have had the chance to be with her in her last week. That's what I can say. It was a great feeling.
Thank you so much, Alan. And hold on. Is Camille ready?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you, Camille.
Yeah. I want to start by saying like Tita Ming was always so kind. I just always remember every time we visited her in California, she always welcomed us with open arms into her home, and she always made sure we had enough to eat. And I would always remember when I had Avery and we would play in the back with her dogs, and they're just super friendly. And I just love that Avery was like running around with the dogs and just kind of like having fun. So I really miss that. And then I remember we saw her, kind of right before the pandemic and at the beach with the other sisters. And it was just so nice to just like see her. And, she always just had the biggest smile and the biggest heart. And we would definitely miss her. And I'm just glad that she was always just someone that I also could talk to, just like she would always ask how my day was or how things are doing. And so I just miss her, and we love her very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Camille. Is Kate available? Kate Mangubat.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you.
Okay, so sorry, my husband is Pacholo, so all of my in-laws are Talia, Gian, Charles, and Marissa and Jing. So I wrote something really quick, so I'm just gonna read it really quick. So I met sorry. So I met Aunt Ming when I was just 19, when I started dating Pacholo. And so he thought it was normal for everyone to grow up with huge families. So he did not do the best job of easing me into large family dynamics. It took me a handful of times to remember everyone's name. And then when I met Aunt Ming, I just instantly thought like, wow, she is the tallest lady I had ever met. And I honestly didn't know Filipinos could be so tall. Yet she had the most gentle energy. She was always so kind and welcoming to me. And sorry. I was always relieved anytime she was at parties because she was always so nice, and she didn't have that like vibe where she was judging me. So her and Aunt Tess were the easy aunties to impress. They were the aunties I could, drink with. I'm pretty sure I drank way too much with them at our wedding. And then so when she met Graham and they were recording, I couldn't tell if she liked him because she really played hard to get. And then they got married, and then I saw them holding hands and I thought, oh my gosh, Graham won. And I was so excited that she found the love of her life. And I had an uncle that I could say pip pip cheerio to. Thank you for inviting us into your home and always treating our children, Carter and Camden, like they were your own grandkids. And thank you for making me feel like I was part of this family from the very first moment. And we'll miss you.
Thank you so much, Kate. How about Rachel?
Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel. I'm Charles's wife, and I just want to say condolences to everyone. Tita Ming, she's always been a nice person to me. Ever since we started dating, I would always spend like Christmases with the Mangubats, and it would always be at her house. And she was always welcoming, friendly face, and she was pretty much at every event that we had. And for our wedding, it was her and Graham who were our godparents. So it's sad, and all I can say is she'll truly be missed, and heaven gained another angel, and condolences again to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Now, may we call on Alisa?
Elisa's not here.
Oh, she's not here. Okay.
No, she can't. She couldn't make it.
Okay.
Andrew and I am
Okay.
here.
Thank you, Greg. May we call on Maria Tablan if she's still, if she's ready, or
Alyssa, are you trying to, you're muted, I think, Alyssa.
Oh yeah, sorry. My mouse wasn't working. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I wrote something down.
Okay. Thank you.
That's no problem. So yes, good evening, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Andrew's fiance. This is my dad.
Hi. Good evening.
You know, one of the things that I want to just share is that, you know, Auntie was like a second mom to me. From the moment we met, she treated me like her own daughter. And I can proudly say that she truly raised a very wonderful son. I still remember the first day we met for her birthday, along with Uncle Graham, Tita Tess, Tita Marissa, Uncle Jane, and Uncle Noel. And I remember after the dinner, she told me that I was very tall and that me and Andrew would have tall babies. And I remember that. And I know how excited she was to see us get married and, you know, to have kids. I was really excited to wear the dress that she wore to her wedding reception and to be able to show her at my rehearsal dinner. So, you know, I really wish that she could be here and, you know, go from being an amazing mom to an amazing grandmother. But I know that Auntie Ming will always be with us in spirit, and all the strong values and faith she taught Andrew, I know he will pass down to his kids. You know, we love you, Auntie, and we miss you so much. You know, please watch over us. And we hope that you're happy and no longer in pain. And I promise I'll take good care of Uncle Graham and Andrew, and I'll make sure that we stay together as a happy family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, is Maria Tablan there, or we can now call Brother Gray?
Me. Well, first of all, I miss my wife terribly. She was my companion for 18 years. I love her so much, and I love our son so much. I met Ming through Marissa. 18 years, more than 18, about 19 years. We went out for a year before we got married. And the circumstances how I met Ming was that Marissa, Ming's sister, happened to be a hospice nurse and for my mother. And actually, Marissa, while my mother was under hospice, asked Mum, that could I have a girlfriend? And I've actually always stayed at home in my life, so I said to Mum, well, I'm not leaving you, but when Mum passed away, I volunteered at San Diego Hospice, and Ming and Marissa, while I was volunteering, after a while, said, I'd like you to meet somebody. And I'd been going to Marissa's home in San Diego occasionally for a family gathering. I saw Ming there with Andrew. He was quite young then. And I saw how devoted my wife was to our son. And it was really wonderful to see that. And Marissa, after a while, formally introduced me to Ming, and we talked and talked about things. And then Marissa asked me I think it was one night, or well, a week, sometime a little time before an evening, to come down to Temecula with them, and we could have an evening out. And I did, and Ming and I started our life together from, I think that, from that time. Oh, sorry, that's our dog, Lucky. And from then on, we just hit it off. And I love looking after Ming, and Ming loved looking after me. I must say, we were inseparable. And our son too, Andrew, who we both loved, and I know Ming loved, well, obviously, Ming loved just that little bit more, but we both loved Andrew. We both wanted Andrew to grow up as a fine young man, and he's more than achieved our wants and desires for him. He's such a fine young man, and he and Ming were always so close. Ming really pushed him in school and pushed him in university, and made sure that he would do well at college and university. And then when he did his master's, was even pushing Andrew to make good grades or pass the master's well. And we always loved going out together. We went on holidays together, both with the family, Marissa, Jean, Tess, sometimes. And I remember Susan. The last big holiday with Susan was going up to Portland, Seattle, and we just loved life together. It was such a terrible shock what happened. I know I'm still in shock. I know I'm rambling on, but I still just can't believe that Ming's left. I feel that Ming's sort of stepped out somewhere and be coming back soon. All I can say is, my love, I love you. You'll always be in my memory. You'll always be my side. I know that. You'll be looking down and telling me what to do, because I'm pretty well lost without you. And I'll look out, I promise. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to say, that Ming was looking so forward to the wedding of our son, Andrew, and Lisa. She loved Lisa, Ming loved Lisa so much, and wanted to be at the wedding so much. I'm sure Ming will be there and looking down, but be there as well. And Ming, I know, will look over both Andrew and Elisa, and that I'll try my best to also help any time that they want. They've been so kind to me since my wife passed away, but I'm always feel that Ming is with me. And please, I would like to also thank everyone for all their wishes, their prayers, and for being so kind to us. And I do know the memories I have of all, especially when they came to our home and we had our parties. It's such wonderful memories. I'll never forget those, as I'll never forget Ming. Thank you, sorry, thank you. No, thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Brother Gray.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Did I miss anyone?
I think I'm gonna be last.
Would y'all say that again, please?
I'm last, I think.
So
yes, Andrew.
So it will be Andrew already. Okay.
Yeah.
Before Andrew, let the kids want to say something before you start. Is that okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Tita Ming was really funny. Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Carter, Camden,
Oh, sorry.
hurry up. Yes, yes. What you guys want to say real quick?
Tita Ming was like really nice, funny, and fun. Yes. And thank you for all the presents, Tita Ming. I will miss you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Is it me?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm her son, and I'm not really good with words, and I'm really kind of quiet. So I'm just gonna read something I wrote as a goodbye to her after she passed on Monday. So I just wanted to say to her to thank you for being a strong single mom for so many years. I know that you sacrificed so much for me just so I could follow my dream. Thank you for teaching me to be generous, to love eating lots of food, even if I got really fat, to buy more clothes than I could ever wear, and to always work hard. Thank you for being strong when I was hard-headed and I didn't listen to whatever you told me. Thank you for being strong when I got tattoos that you thought looked not that you didn't really like at all. And thank you for being strong when you got diagnosed with cancer. Even though you needed to be taken care of, you always took care of me. And thank you for being strong when COVID came, because I know that you tried to stick around as long as you could so that I could make it to Reading to see you one last time. I love you a lot, and I'll do my best to be strong now that you're gone. I wish that you could have made it to the wedding, and I wish I could have done more to make you proud, but I know that you're finally at peace. I'll always be your baby, and you'll always be my strong guardian angel. Thank you, everyone, for all the stories, prayers, and support for my mom over the last 9 days. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Uh, thank you so much, Andrew. If I'm sorry. I'm lost of words. I'm sorry. I think we're done. And for the last time, please turn on your videos so that we could have another picture taken after the eulogy. Thank you. Pucholo, can we have another picture?
All right. 1 second. Those who are still on.
Yeah, can you please turn on your
turn on the-
videos?
Tita Baby, Tita Mimi, Elizabeth, Mira, Sonia, Christelle,
Pressy.
Winston, Inchita, Percy. You guys are still there. Can you turn on your video? Kate, can you turn on your video?
Sonia.
Turn off.
Yeah, I think we're ready. Yeah.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Night.
Good night. That concludes our prayer service for tonight, the 9th day novena. So would like to extend our condolences, Brother Gray and Andrew, and rest assured we will always be here for you, praying for you and support you. Sister Marisa?
Thank you very much.
Sister, special thanks to you, Sister May. Thank you very much, Brother Danny, Sister May, for making this happen. We are really, really very, what do you call this one? Very grateful to you. And also to Badet for allowing us to use the Zoom.
The Zoom and the flyers and the flyers.
Too. Thank you. You are all angels to us. Ming will be so happy.
Oh, Ming's happy, yes.
Yeah.
So happy.
Thank you so much. And everyone, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
so,
you.
Thank you so much. And let us all continue to pray for the eternal repose of the soul of Sister Ming.
Yeah.
And we know that she is now at peace.
That's true. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and good night.